This looks fine until it doesn't. And on paid projects, this kind of failure is unacceptable. This is why I don't rely on DaVinci Resolve's AI slow motion for client work, even though it looks impressive on paper. AI slow motion in DaVinci Resolve, also known as AI Optical Flow, can be useful, but for paid projects, I don't rely on it, and I want to explain why. When I was choosing a new camera for video, I picked the one which can shoot 4K 120 frames per second without a crop. And some people told me, why do you need that? You can just slow down 30 FPS in post. And this is exactly why I don't agree with that. I still prefer shooting 120 frames per second instead of hoping that DaVinci would slow down 30 FPS without artifacts in post. If post-production could always fix slow motion, cameras with 120 FPS wouldn't even exist. Quick context. I'm Stan, videographer, creator and a software engineer. I create evidence-based videos for serious creators and professionals, test camera gear and post-production tools in real workflows, so people can make decisions they won't regret later. According to Blackmagic Design, AI Optical Flow analyzes a scene's content and builds new frames, so you can slow down and extend motion without repeating or blending frames. Every generated frame is constructed from existing visual data, not duplicated. So this is not a simple frame repeat or blend. It is actually a very advanced analysis of motion between frames. And when it works, it looks impressive. The problem is not how it works. The problem is when it breaks. AI Optical Flow works best when motion is simple and predictable. Slow camera moves, minimal parallax, clean edges, no fast-moving textures. For personal projects, experiments, or social media, that might be completely fine, but here is where it starts to fall apart. Fast motion, rotation, hands, hair, fabric, reflections. This is where AI Optical Flow struggles to get warping, jitters, or some other strange behavior. And for paid projects, this is unacceptable. Just to be precise, everything you see here was tested in DaVinci Resolve Studio version 20.3, build number 10. And of course, I really hope that Blackmagic continues improving the AI Optical Flow model, because this is exactly the kind of feature that could become much more reliable over time. There's another important thing people rarely talk about. AI Optical Flow is extremely resource intensive. It has to analyze every frame, compare differences between neighboring frames, and then render new ones. So don't expect your timeline to play smoothly, especially if you don't have top-notch hardware. Yes, you can enable render cache, but that also slows down your workflow significantly. For example, on my M1 MacBook Pro with 16GB of RAM, rendering just 10 seconds of AI Optical Flow can take 10 to 15 minutes. And then if you start color grading or changing anything, it needs to render it again. So my actual workflow looks like this. I slow down the clip, I enable render cache and apply AI Optical Flow, then I carefully check for artifacts, and then I disable AI Optical Flow and render cache until I'm ready to render the whole project. That alone tells you that this is not something I want to rely on under the deadlines. Here is my rule. If I care about the shot, I shoot it right. If I know I want slow motion, I shoot in 120 frames per second. I don't rely on AI to make something that was never captured. With client work, you don't get to say the AI messed up. You are responsible for the result. AI Optical Flow adds uncertainty. High frame rate footage reduces it. By the way, this is a part of my series breaking down studio-only features. If you are still deciding whether studio is worth it, my main video compares free versus studio. And I also share a small money-saving workaround for buying the license. link below. So in conclusion, AI Optical Flow is a tool and you should know how it works. For casual use, it's fine. For experiments, it's impressive. But for paid projects, I don't rely on it. I plan for slow motion at the shooting stage. In future videos, I will break down more studio-only features and which ones actually matter in real workflows. Subscribe!